So I'm going to attempt to make a video with my children awake. They're both up, so let's see how this goes. It shouldn't take too long. So I have been so busy lately. My oldest son turned 3. We had his party. We had family in town. I got a part-time job. It's just been really hard to get around to making a video. So I have an accumulation of topics I want to address, and I'll just start with hormones and PMS. I don't know about you ladies, but I think that hormones, PMS, whatever you want to call it, have gotten so much more challenging and complicated for me after children. And it might be a combination of after children and approaching 30, because I know age probably plays into all of that. But it's just been such a new and difficult time in my life. I have never been one to experience depression, and I don't experience depression, but I'll have like a down day, you know, like one whole day where I just don't feel happy. I'm just so down, and I can tell I don't feel myself, you know, and I'll have, you know, irrational thoughts and, feelings that make no sense, and it's just really challenging. And I started looking into what some women that I know are Christian and that have blogs or ministries or books that they've written, what they have had to say about hormones and PMS and stuff. And the best thing I took away from the materials that I did get to read were, I guess she articulated exactly how I feel when I'm PMSing, is I never feel less holy than when I am PMSing. And I think it's because I don't feel like myself. My emotions are leading me. I have horrible, irrational thoughts. I feel unmotivated to be productive in the home. I want to eat junk food, and I feel like a failure in providing healthy meals to my children, like this lollipop. He had a birthday party, so we gave him lollipop. All done?
All done.
Yummy.
I just eat it.
You did a good job. Can you put that stick in the trash? Thank you. And, you know, just stuff like that. So the best thing was C.J. Mahaney's wife, Carolyn Mahaney. She said she never feels less holy than when she's PMSing. And that's exactly true. Something else just to touch on with PMS, some practical things that I've started to do is actually look at the calendar and have an idea of when these hormone surges are coming, because now it's no longer just for the menstrual time of the month, but it's actually during ovulation too. I become very emotional and very hormonal, and it's just really taken a toll on how I parent and the way my attitude with my husband, and it has caused some conflict and some tension many times. So because of that, we started looking at the calendar, and I've started to give my husband a heads up. And I also have been very mindful and very careful of what I communicate during those days with my husband, because my thoughts are irrational and my feelings are probably just for that day or that hour, that tomorrow or the next day I may feel completely different. It's not the time of the month to communicate things, especially important things, to your spouse, because tomorrow you may feel completely different. And really what you create is chaos and confusion and possibly hurt feelings, and unnecessary arguments or unnecessary lengthy conversations. Really, it's a time where your husband can learn about hormones and how they affect their wife. And it's okay to just say, baby, I just feel like crying. Can you just hold me? Well, I cry for no reason whatsoever right now. And, you know, give him a warning that you may seem irrational or irritable or whatever your symptoms are when you're PMSing for the next day or two, and to help you fight through it, to pray for you, to address it in a very, very loving manner, or just to come and hold you when you're in the midst of that moment, because sometimes addressing it can cause a conflict because your attitude is so, you know, and it's just hard to guard yourself against sin during that time. And yeah, those are the practical steps I've taken. It's just warn my husband, be mindful of what I choose to share with him or express to him during that time, be aware that it's coming up so that I can be on guard. I can be in prayer. I can be in the Word. I can be thinking of feeding my mind the right thoughts throughout the day, truth throughout the day, so that I act on those things. And even if my feelings tell me one thing, always trying to go with what I know to be true and what I know to be correct and right, not how I feel, because our feelings are deceiving, and they change constantly, and they are not the wisest way to lead your life. So that's really short, but thought I'd touch on that because I know it's an issue that every woman, if not most women, struggle with, and it's just very new for me for it to be so intense and just a little more complicated in my life after having children and almost being 30 in like a month. So I'm practically 30. So if you have any questions or comments or advice, please feel free to leave it. Thank you. Gotta go.